I hear this thing all the time, and I've thought about it a lot, and I've looked around in life, and I've realized in many cases it's not true when they say all men are created equal. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one because or all people are created equal. No, I'm pretty sure that's not the fact because I have been standing in the presence of men that ask me, "Can I hold your manual real quick?" And I hand it to them. They haven't studied at all. They've been out partying or whatever all night. They haven't studied at all. And they take my manual and they flip through it, close it, hand it back. And they go in, they make 100 on the test. Because they had a photographic memory. Well, the next guy didn't have that. I've seen people that climb in a helicopter, and one guy can do it like it was nothing, and the other guy can't and gets kicked out. I've seen people that can draw and shoot in under a second, and I've seen people that can't even draw a gun. So when they say all men are created equal, maybe they mean all men are loved by God equal? Maybe. I don't know what exactly that means about all people created equal, because they're not. Some people do things with great detail and great excellence and will not settle for half measures or bullshit. Others will work vigilantly and tiresomely until they get it just about perfect. They're always striving for perfection and they end up with excellence. And I know other people that say, I just don't care. I just don't care. I don't care if I wash my car. I don't care if I wash my underwear. I don't care. I'm going to lay here and drink a beer and have a great time. So I just don't get it. I've kind of studied this my entire life because a lot of people say, well, you can do this and you can do these great things. And I ask myself, but I don't know. Why is that? Is it because how we were trained as children? Is it because how we were taught? Is it in our DNA? Because I look at my animals and my animals are not the same. I have one dog that won't do anything. He's lazy as shit. I got another dog that's always beside me, trying to take care of me, trying to do things. He's super ready to go. He barks at night, somebody comes up. So those two dogs are not created equally. And the one that won't do nothing actually has been babied more than the one that does. So it ain't so much nurture or nature. It might be nature, but it ain't nurture. Because I know people that's raised children and basically kissed their ass, put them in the best schools in the world, gave them the best training in the world, and they turn out to be absolute derelicts. I know people that's basically was raised really tough and hard and kicked in the teeth and nobody loved them. They turned out to be geniuses. So what is it? These are big questions that I ponder, and I wonder if you ponder them too. And as you study like business owners, you go to like a restaurant or something, you look and you go, you see the business owner there and he's telling the employees, we have to do better. We have to be better at what we do. We have to do this. And then you go into another restaurant and they just don't give a shit. Or you go into like a craft shop and they're building things and it's just so perfect and so nice and everything is detailed. The store's clean, blah, blah. You go to another place, you walk in there and the door's broken open and, the things are just half-assed nailed together and the guy's got a bad attitude, but hey, he's still making money. So I don't know what it is. And I think about heaven a lot, and I think about angels and things like that and what their standards are, how they do things, how they're detailed, how they probably only accept excellence, and as well as I do, when you go to even a mechanic shop and the mechanic is good at what he does and he won't charge you money unless he fixes your item. And then he'll call and say, hey, is it still working fine? Is everything still good to go? I'm worried about your car. I want to make sure that I did a good job. He's just striving for excellence. And then you go somewhere and they say they got it fixed, and 10 miles down the road it breaks again, and you call them back and they go, hey, screw off, man. We already got our money. You know? And same thing in, sales, anything like that. You go to a place and they really work hard. I had a salesman one time that sold my daughter a car, and he was excellent. Excellent. He didn't have to ask us for the sale. He was so excellent and so good at personal service that we weren't buying for nobody else. And we didn't care if he made a ton of money on our sale. And you know what? After that, after we bought the vehicle and we got home, a couple days later, we get a care package. He delivers a care package to our house and asks, how's the vehicle going? One day we had to go into service. He seen us come into service. He was back there. And he said, hey, are they taking care of you okay? Is everything good with that car? And I was like, man, where do they get these people like this? Where do they get these salesmen that are just absolutely care? They're not just cared about a check. He didn't even care about the money he made. He was worried about, were we happy still? And that goes back to the old thing of, excellence. Trying to strive for perfection and ending up with excellence. Painting the picture to be perfect and not being satisfied. But when someone walks up to look at it, they go, man, that picture is excellent. Working on the range day after day after day after day to get faster, more accurate. And you're not satisfied. You're like, golly, I'm at 0.97. Why can't I be at 0.73? Why can't I be at 0.50? And you strive day after day after day, sweating it out, these sort of things, looking for perfection. And then all of a sudden, one day someone comes out to watch you shoot, and they watch you draw and shoot at a 0.50, and they go, oh my God, he's excellent. Why? Because you strive to do the basics and you put in the dedication. You were dedicated to excellence. And that's the one thing that I try to teach my children, is to be dedicated to excellence. They always say, Dad, you always want me to be perfect, and I'm not perfect. And I say, yeah, but you're excellent. So if you're teaching your children, or maybe it's just yourself out trying to do something, work for perfection. Find people that do it perfect in your book and try to be better than them. And one day you will be excellent at what you do. See yourself there. Be excellent. I watched girls bat for years with the travel ball teams. And we've taught a lot of girls to bat and things like that. And I always see the ones that they just want to hit the ball. They don't want to hit excellent. They just want to hit the ball. They just want to satisfy the parent. They're never going to do it because they don't care to be perfect. They don't care to be excellent. Then I see the girl that works so hard on her form to just make contact, and then to make follow through, and then to get her swing just perfect, her feet work just perfect. She works on that day and day and day and day and day. And next thing you know, it's not surprising to see it go over the fence. Over and over. Because she's excellent. Whether you're in sports, whether you're in the military, whether you're in business, or just life itself, you can be crippled. You can be in a wheelchair, but if you strive to be perfect, you're not going to make that, but you will end up excellent. Okay? Hope you enjoyed this little talk. I give these videos so that people that don't know me yet, like my great grandchildren, may see them one day on the tube, the internet, whatever we have, or they have at the time, if it still exists. and they can say, hey, that was one of my great grandfathers or my whatever, and this is what he had to say about perfection and excellence. And maybe somewhere in this little dialogue here, they can find a nugget of gold that I couldn't give them at the time, but they can find it somewhere in their lifespan. And maybe it helped them a little bit. Because when it's all done, we're all just shadows and dust. And we're thrown in a grave. And we speak no more. They can't download the information that we have. Or can they? And they sure as hell won't be able to talk to you and say, hey, Grandpa, how can I be an Apache pilot or Starship pilot or whatever? Or Grandpa, how can I draw and shoot in a half second? Or Grandpa, how can I achieve all these great goals that I have? How can I be excellent at things? Well, I would tell them just what I just told you here, and then I'd add one more in. Don't be afraid to fail, because you're going to fail a lot. All you have to do is get up one more time, then you get knocked down. That's all. You'll be excellent. Okay? Go out and make your family, yourself, your home, your fellow warrior.